Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Jacksonville Jaguars. First 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9?
And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25.
They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Well, this defense for the Jaguars, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
Yeah, they only allowed 13 points, and you can poll all 32 coaches, and I guarantee you they'd say, we'll take that every single week. But let me think about that for a second. Maybe there'd be one contrarian that would say, give me 10.
And this is going to be a Raiders first down as the tackle made here at the 36.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Going to run again here with Pollard. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They'll try the air now with Goff.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Now Goff. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. He'll return it from the 6.
A nice return that time of about 14 yards.
And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10.
They'll start on the ground with Swift.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
So, CD, you look at this offense and what they've been able to do. 8-0, perfect through the first 2 months of the year. Second half of the season still to come. We get that. But what kind of a percentage chance do you think that they have of running the table?
Partner, I think it's hard to say because history would tell us that the chances aren't good at all. We've seen a lot of good teams get to this point, and then they have that one bad week and takes them out of the running. I'm going to say 25%, and I feel like I'm being generous with that number.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. To throw on 2nd and 6. Carr toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Carr to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
4th down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week. And you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
Pollard going to try the right side. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
Now a play fake, and it's gone.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
On the return, here's Agnew. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year. But you think this game, their toughest test yet?
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Once again, it's Swift.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now they'll throw with Carr. He's going to air one out. This is intercepted.
Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Raiders are going to take over at their own 41. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Goff on 3rd down. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Leonard Floyd drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Agnew now to return. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And there, of course, was a lot of talk about this ball game coming into play. 2 division leaders in the AFC. Could this be a potential playoff preview down the line?
Yeah, and I think when you're talking about the talk about this game coming into play, you're talking about me because I blew up your phone all week prior to this one. I was so excited about this game because, to me, it's not out of the realm of possibility that these two teams see each other again down the road. I like this matchup. They match up very well against each other.
From the 27, Carr.
Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10.
A big play there on the catch and run. 65 yards.
From the 8, they've got it 1st and goal.
Here's Swift. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown.
DeAndre Swift, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Jags post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
You know, are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number one goal? Make the playoffs. Number two, win your division. Number three, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number one seed so you get that first round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
The Raiders on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2. Here's Goff.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Barrett. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
A gain of 32 that time.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Now here's a throw that's complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out. A dime look defensively for the Raiders on third down.
Yeah, you're right. 2 extra DBs out there. From the gun, it's Carr. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
First down, and they go with Swift again.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
On 2nd down, Swift.
Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
on a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Smith catches left side. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. From midfield, here's Carr. Eluding the pressure right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. He will find his man Chase complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 27 yards there, a first down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Devontae Smith with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
They go back to Pollard on 2nd down. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Here's Goff.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Pat Surtain.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
It just appeared there that the defense, they had that read from the moment the ball was snapped. And not only did they get the interception, had a nice return on top of it, all the way to the end zone for a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, the guy made the play. He gets the points. But it really was a group effort, wasn't it? How about the coaches? They've got to be so excited. All the preparation, time in the film room, it translated into a big play to put points on the board for their team.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Out of the gun. Goff.
This one complete to Jerry Jeudy.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. The crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half.
Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Throwing for Chase on the crosser. He's got it.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
Meanwhile, Carr's throw there taken in by Smith.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down, escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete.
So good coverage there defensively as it looks like they'll force a punt on this opening drive of the third.
Well, let's coach them up a little bit from right here in the booth. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to start stringing together some stops, turning the ball over back to their offense, and trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, a couple scores down, but they can eat into that quickly with a nice drive here on the other side.
A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out, and now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
A shotgun snap for Goff. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Goff. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez, standing just outside his own goal line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself. Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
72 yards on the ground here for Swift, and he's got a first down as well.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing now is Carr. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
I like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's going to wind up and air it out. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Jamar Chase,
58 yards.
And the Jaguars have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns in 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles, if they're going to try to pull off it. And yet again, Goff is intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks.
And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about...
Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Third touchdown pass now for Derek Carr.
And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Gone.
Swinging this out for Pollard.
And some room to work. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Well, still in the third quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That's a gain of 31 with right around 1 minute to go in the quarter.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit. And that might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
On first down, gone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Irv Smith Jr., an 11-yard touchdown.
And the Raiders are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Extra point try good by Gano. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Shotgun now for Carr. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. Back now in Jacksonville. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Jaguars on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. To throw, it's Carr.
Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards to play.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? At this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame him?
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Jet sweep. Carr backs it forward. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. Make it 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr.
And the Jaguars add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
No problem there on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Devin White, the linebacker.
And the Jaguars are going to take possession of the football. They'll run right here with Swift.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
89 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift.
And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Swift going to try up the middle.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
Here's a handoff to Swift.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7.
Here's a handoff to Swift running left.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so, and maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
They go back to Pollard on 2nd down.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.